Welcome back to the show as we look at the 5 things that attract decent and sustainable jobs. But someone asked me in between and say, hey, look here. So what the difference between this sponsor, mentor, and a coach? A mentor sometimes, with all due respect, can be a bit above the line. You know, this is your hero. This is a model you would like to emulate. A mentor is a role model. You admire them. You want to be like them. They may handhold you, they may have time or not. A coach takes it to another level. More dedication, timelines. You know, coaching is more formal. Mentorship is quite informal. Because a coach is working for a specific goal within a specific timeline and looking at a specific outcome. Then the sponsor is the connector. It's like wiring the house and putting in everything, but if you don't switch the light on, you can't enjoy the amenities. So the sponsor is the switch to set you up. Good. Let's look at the 5 things that attract decent and sustainable job. Number 2, the first J is job readiness. There is nothing as important in life when it comes to better opportunities or advancement or growth than just being ready. In fact, there is an African proverb that says, when a child washes his hands, he can eat with kings. When a child washes his hands, he can eat with kings. Most kids are not invited at the high table because their hands are dirty. And some of us in lives, we're not being invited into the party, into the high table, because our hands are not ready. Our hands are dirty. So if you wash your hands properly, I can guarantee you will eat with kings, because the world is watching. The world is watching you. I meet a lot of young people. They come to my office. They attend my meetings. And you can tell this guy, he's a graduate, but the guy is not ready for a job. They are not ready for real world of employment. How? Just their physical outlook. They look so unkept. And they are not intentional at all. So they are coming for this particular event, and the way they show up on that event, it tells you they didn't even take time to inquire what kind of an event was that. They didn't have the pain to figure out who is attending the event. They didn't have the time to analyze what the objective of the event and what opportunities could be there. Lack of readiness shows lack of analytical thinking. They are casual. As I say, if you approach life casually, you end up as a casualty. You know, things just like personal grooming. Some people go to places and, I'm sorry, their body odor is just unpleasant, how they are smelling. They didn't even figure out that, look here, the little hygiene gives me pluses and enhances my brand. I could go on and on and on. They have no common sense at all. Like someone say, common sense is like deodorant. Those who need it the most do not use it. So the little things, the soft things that makes the hardware valuable. I tell the young people, I say, look here, academic qualification is like a hardware. The little mannerism are like the software. You can have a very nice, expensive hardware, but if the software is dysfunctional, the hardware cannot be valuable to you. I say the first thing that attracts jobs, decent jobs, sustainable jobs, decent opportunities is readiness. You meet with people, your resume, how you've written it, shows that you are ready for work. You see, I do coaching. I coach people for job opportunities. When someone sees an advert somewhere and they say, I would like to apply for the job, and sometimes I get such clients where I sit with them and they prepare them for the interview. And most of the time I will say, send me your CV. And someone send you their CV. You look at the CV, you tell yourself, even if I was the hiring authority, I will not shortlist this CV. But the CV isn't doing justice to the individual. The individual has the potential, the credential, the acumen, but the CV doesn't do any justice to this person. And many times I'll tell them, you know what, go and get me a professional CV writer, pay them some money and let them do for you a professional CV that shows the potential employer you are ready for work, you are hungry for work. And many times I'll refer my clients to someone that I know that does good jobs when it comes to CV writing. And they will charge. Not so much, something like 500 Uganda shillings. And you get some people say, oh, that's too expensive. Then I say, you are not ready for the job. You're not ready for the growth. Because you may need to pay a bit of a price to get that kind of a growth. And then when you ask them for a cover letter that speaks a little bit about them, a bit of a bio and a profile and a resume that position them at a very kind of opportune, let's say, position for the sake of getting the job, you just feel like the person is not ready. So I said the first J is about job readiness. People go for interview and they ask the potential employer very obvious questions, questions they should have known. Had they taken time to do a bit of background intelligence, behind the scene, comprehension, understanding of the potential employer, analyze the competition, analyze the market, go even on the internet, read about the strategy of this particular organization, search, track their CEO, their board chair, the event they've been to, the speeches they've given. It tells you the trail of their thoughts and the priorities of the organization, that when you come for the interview, you are so prepared and they feel like you are one of them because you speak like them, you see like them, you think like them, and you comment like them, and you even quote them during the interview. I say the first J is about job readiness. How ready are you for the next level in your career? You are a young person, you've never worked before, and you want to get a job. And you are called for an interview. And I was somewhere, someone told me, look, Pepe, this person is coming for an interview at the central bank. They couldn't even hire a jacket from their, or not hire, borrow a jacket from their brother or from their uncle or a cousin. The way they show up at the central bank for an interview, it just tells you the fellow is not ready. And then there is this question, timeless question they always ask you, tell us about yourself. A lot of people will go on telling very unsubstantiated stories, very baseless narratives that carries no weight and and leave no impression at all. I tell people, look here, there is a way you can talk about yourself. When they ask you, tell us about yourself, the potential employer is looking for about 3 things there. Now those are the things that we try to help our graduate trainee in the Bridgeton graduate trainee program on how just to be ready for the real world of employment. Now, readiness gets you ready for opportunities. Readiness can make people start talking about you. Readiness can get you sponsors, by the way. That someone is in a room and when people are discussing about a potential hire and a potential talent, they say, no. I've come across this intern, or have come across this particular youth, have come across this particular girl. I think if given a chance, they will do it far much better. Because I've looked at their work ethic, I've looked at their time management skills, I've looked at just their composure as an individual, I've looked at their outlook, even their attire, the way they dress and present themselves to the world. They look like they are ready to go, ready to go. Most young people are on the starting line, but nothing about them shows you that they are ready. And therefore, you can't get sponsors, people to speak for you where you are not there. I say, the first J that can attract jobs, that can attract sponsors that can open doors for you is the readiness. Better be ready and not have an opportunity than have one and not be ready. The reason you go for interviews and people say, thank you, it was nice meeting you, but I think we are looking for something much better than this, they're simply and subconsciously saying, you're not ready for this. This is too big for you. This is not for you. My challenge tonight, I challenge you to get ready. If you are a young person and you like really to sharpen your axe and be ready for the world out there, why don't you look us out on the internet, www.motivatorafrica.net. You'll find our graduate trainee program in there called the Bridgeton Graduate Trainee Program. And this year in November, we are planning the first ever National Graduate Trainee Career Festival, hoping to host about 40,000 students, finalists, fresh graduates, even the ambitious ones who are still in year 1 or year 2, year 3 at National Stadium, Mandela National Stadium, Nambole, on the 9th of November from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the topic of the day will be create the future, live the dream. You can create the future, you can live the dream by just being ready for the multitudes of opportunities out there. Until next time, keep it right here. Be inspired with PEPE Minambo, courtesy of Aquafina, pure water, great taste, only what's essential. And next week, we continue with this series on the 5 J's that attract jobs, decent and sustainable jobs. The first J is job readiness. And don't forget, I say, in order for you to move to the next level and next level and next level in life, you need these 3 kinds of people. Number 1, you need a mentor. Number 2, you need a coach. And number 3, you need a sponsor. And I'll tell you, one of the things that can earn you a sponsor, people to go around marketing, promoting, pushing your brand forward, is your level of readiness. Abraham Lincoln famously said, if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would take 6 hours sharpening my axe, getting myself ready. That is the power of readiness. Until next time, be inspired before you expire. Good night.